menjadikan Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Trisakti berstandar internasional dengan tetap memperhatikan nilai-nilai lokal dalam mengembangkan ilmu pengetahuan untuk meningkatkan kualitas hidup bangsa. Sedangkan meningkatkan kualitas hidup bangsa mengandung makna bahwa tujuan akhir dari penyelenggaraan pendidikan tinggi di Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Trisakti adalah mengembalikan hasil proses kegiatan pelaksanaan Tridharma perguruan tinggi kepada masyarakat, yakni terciptanya kualitas hidup bangsa Indonesia yang semakin meningkat yang setara dengan bangsa-bangsa lain di dunia.
To support the activities of students and the community, our faculty provides various public facilities, such as library, mini bank for practicum, computer lab, auditorium, classroom for teaching and learning activities, sport facilities, data processing room, mosque, garden, ATM center, and also coffee shop. The Faculty of Economics and Business of Universitas Trisakti also provides a program in the form of an organization called BAFIL. BAFIL aims to improve the quality of students, supported by capable teachers as well as professionals. Affiliated agencies, including LPFEB, or publishers for the Faculty of Economic and Business. Accounting Profession Program Campus in Kuningan, South Jakarta. Not only covering the capital city as the center of business and government, the Faculty of Economics and Business is also available in Sentul City, Bogor. Located strategically and surrounded by beautiful hills, Sentul City Campus is the answer for the needs of Bogor people and its surrounding.
Dari pengalaman saya, suasana belajar di FEB ini sangat mendukung ya. Mulai dari dosennya yang berkualitas, teman-temannya yang sangat mendukung saya dari sisi belajar maupun bersosialisasi, maupun juga fasilitasnya yang sangat memadai.
Aku nyaman banget sih menjalani perkuliahan di kampus ini. Selain dapat materi kuliah, aku juga dapat berbagai macam soft skill, relasi, dan tentunya organisasi yang akan bermanfaat ketika masuk dunia kerja nanti. Oh iya, salah satu tempat favorit aku di FEB Sakti ini adalah Taman FEB Kampus A. Di sana aku bisa refreshing, healing, sharing sama teman dan senior aku, juga bahkan nugas di sana.
By expressing gratitude for the blessings and grace from God Almighty, the Faculty of Economics and Business of Universitas Trisakti has also succeeded in maintaining and increasing A has also achieved various achievements from local, national, all the way to international levels.
Ketika bisa menjadi bagian dari FEB Sakti ini, saya merasa bangga karena FEB Sakti adalah salah satu fakultas tertua di Universitas Trisakti ini, yang pastinya sudah menghasilkan ribuan alumni sukses dan itu memotivasi saya dalam belajar biar seperti mereka.
Program internasional di FEB Sakti menurut aku sangat berkualitas. Di sini aku mendapatkan ilmu, manfaat, serta wawasan yang luas dari para dosen dan senior-senior di sini. Dan sebagai mahasiswa kelas internasional, aku juga merasa bersyukur. Selain berkuliah di sini, aku juga akan melanjutkan studi ke UK melalui program kelas internasional Trisakti.
Mari bergabung bersama kami di Fakultas Ekonomi dan Bisnis Universitas Trisakti.
Trisakti University is the place where international and local values are merged, which strives and puts ahead the competition through outcome-based education. We are proud of our timeless and tireless dedication to uphold relationships with international members such as ASEAN University Network and AUN-QA. We believe excellence in research translates our achievements, from international accreditation boards to entrepreneurial research-based, which create proven outcomes of international market competency. And we remain committed to entrepreneurship in promoting a strong economic nation. At Trisakti University, in which student has the opportunity to share their experience and knowledge to make a strong impact in the global competitive environment in many respected academic fields. Whereas our qualified lecturers are committed in teaching effectively using the information and communication on technology. We also accelerate our service through expanding online learning across Indonesia and international countries in many academic approaches and uplift world-class research despite the pandemic crisis. We continue to collaborate with our national government to formulate and enforce policy to implement major technology transformations. This transforms our future students to be comfortable with digital platforms. Operating in a wider context to experience and apply lessons learned from global knowledge and other higher education systems to the local context, in order to derive deep insights for their future clients and companies. More than ever, at Trisakti University, we are prompted to think globally and to develop a wider stakeholder value proposition, which is a mark of sustainability. Library. Lecturer's office. Administration office. Lecture hall. Auditorium hall. Meeting room. Management office.
Hello everyone, I'm Sylvia Sandiasmara Devi, graduated from Master of Management, Faculty of Economic and Business, Trisakti University, with a concentration in Financial and Risk Management. I currently work at Lembaga Pembiayaan Ekspor Indonesia, well known as Indonesia Exim Bank, a sovereign financial institution under the government of the Republic of Indonesia. Studying here provides the benefit of expanding academic, technical, and practical knowledge from experienced lecturers. Campus locations was not too far away from city center, and this program provided an alternative choice of flexible time for working employees. There are 4 choices of concentration, namely marketing management, financial and risk management, human capital management, and operation and supply chain management. So, for those of you who want to continue your studies, don't hesitate to choose the Master of Management, Trisakti University. I hope this information is helpful. Good luck and best wishes for you.
Well, good afternoon, dear ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to our precious webinar entitled The Future of Tourism, Travel 2022 and Beyond. Dear ladies and gentlemen, this event is a form of collaboration between Faculty of Economics and Business Universitas Trisakti with Faculty of Hospitality and Tourism, Prince of Songkla University, Phuket campus. I am Tuku Dava from Master Management Program of Faculty of Economics and Business University Trisakti, will be guiding us from the beginning till the end of our event today. Distinguished Rector of Universitas Trisakti, Professor Dr. Insinyur Kadarsah Suryadi, DEA. Distinguished Dean of the Faculty of Economics and Business Universitas Trisakti, Dr. Yolanda Masnita, MM. Distinguished Head of Master Management Program of Economics and Business Faculty, Professor Dr. Farah Margareta, MA. And all of lecturers and also distinguished delegates for our today's event. Dear ladies and gentlemen, this event will not be a big event and will not be a precious event without your attending. So we would like to thank you very much for attending this event on time. And without many more talking, we're going to be moving to our first agenda. It is welcoming speech from the Dean of Faculty of Economics and Business Universitas Trisakti. I would love to welcome Dr. Yolanda Masnita, MM. Floor is yours.
Thank you, Dava. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, Bapak, Ibu, dan rekan-rekan semua. Thank you to each and every one of you, especially for our rector, Professor Dr. Insinyur Kadarsah Suryadi, DEA, for being here today at this wonderful virtual place, of course. It is such an honor for me to speak on behalf of the organizer. Let me begin by giving you a warm welcome to the future of tourism travel in 2022 and beyond. This webinar is collaboration between Trisakti University and Prince Songkla University Phuket campus. In today's webinar, we will learn and discuss about tourism and its sustainability. The pandemic really brought down the tourism business. Everyone was asked to stay at home, so tourism companies must be creative and innovative in developing their business. So this becomes very interesting to discuss that. So, ladies and gentlemen, Bapak Ibu sekalian, my hope is that the cooperation between Trisakti University and Prince of Songkla University Phuket campus can continue, not only in this webinar. So I don't want to take too much of your time. I need to hand over it to our MC to introduce our guest speaker to all of you. I would like to say once more on behalf of this webinar organizer, welcome. Selamat berwebinar. It's great to see so many of you here. As a closing word, I say wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Yolanda Masnita, for your welcoming speech. And we're going to be moving to our next agenda, dear ladies and gentlemen. It is the opening speech from Director of Trisakti University. Please welcome Professor Dr. Insinyur Kadarsah Suryadi, DEA. Time is yours.
Thank you, Dava. Can you hear my voice, please?
Yes, it is crystal clear, sir.
Thank you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. It is great pleasure for me to be here with all of you. To all audience, I thank you very much for attending this webinar. I would like also to take this opportunity to express my warm welcome to Professor Dr. Pron Pisanu from Siva Palop, the Dean of Faculty of Hospitality and Tourism, Prince of Songkla University Phuket campus, to be here with all of us. And I would like to say you in Thailand language, Sawat din ton bay. It means good afternoon. And I would like to congratulate to Dr. Yolanda, our dean, and Prof. Farah Margareta, and all organizing committee who make this webinar happen. I would like also to extend my deep gratitude to thanks to Professor Prom Pisanu Professor Palop and Dr. Luki Adiati Pratomo to be speaker in this webinar. The topic of this webinar, Future Tourism, Travel in 2020 and Beyond, is very, very important theme for all of us and the entire of the world. This is because very relevant with current situation. As we all know that all people in our planet has pandemic of COVID-19, and now we are entering into digital era because of the fourth industrial revolution. And this fact, COVID-19 and digital era has the impact to the people behavior in the world. And there are at least 4 people behavior in the COVID-19 and digital era. The first behavior is what you call stay-at-home lifestyle. When there is the fall of mobility and the rise of stay-at-home, everybody want to solve the problem from home. And the second impact is everybody go back to bottom of pyramid of Maslow theory. And at this point, the food and healthy is the first priority in daily life. Many people nowadays try to forget luxury. Everybody has new habit of contact-free lifestyle, and there is significant impact to the tourism industry. And the third impact is go virtual. There is flexible working hours from 9 o'clock to 5 o'clock. Now working hours is 3 days at office and 2 days at home. So I think that is very important for all of us. And also many people conduct the what you call telemedicine and also virtual tour. And the fourth impact is there is the rise of empathy and religious behavior. People are more religious, pray to God, expecting to recover from the pandemic. As a layman in the tourism domain, I understand that there are many challenges we have in the future of tourism, such as going green, eco-friendly holidays. Travelers not only seek to avoid damaging the natural environment, but also aim to make sure that their spending benefits the local people. Another challenge is non-flight travel, low carbon holidays. The flight sim or flight scam is anti-flying social movement with the aim of reducing the environmental impact of the aviation. And many other challenges that we have in the future of tourism. So I think that today in this webinar, we can discover many insights concerning future of tourism from our speakers. And at the end of my speech, I would like to congratulate to all committee who make this event happening. I hope you all have fruitful webinar and discussion. And finally, by mentioning Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, I declare Webinar Future Tourism Travel 2022 and Beyond officially open. Thank you. Kopkun Krab. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you so much to Professor Kadasah as you open our event today. And we are very pleased to have you today as our honorable speakers also. And ladies and gentlemen, I would love to introduce our 2 best speakers for our today's event. First one is, she is also one of the lecturer in Trisakti University, and she is also one of my lovable lecturer. She is Dr. Luki Adiati Pratomo, MM, as the coordinator of International Class and Double Degree Program, Faculty of Economics and Business, Universitas Trisakti, in which all of her experience, he might be very focusing on also tourism, so that she will be having fun with us today to talk about the future of tourism. And our second speaker, also the expert in this context, he is Assistant Professor Dr. Pon Pisanu from Ziva Palop, or we can call him Mr. Nu. He is Dean of Faculty of Economics. He is the Dean of Faculty of Hospitality and Tourism, Prince of Songkla University, Phuket campus. And he is also the expert in hospitality and tourism, and he would love to share with us a lot of knowledge about the future of tourism, travel 2022 and beyond. And ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we're going to be talking about our very first speaker. I would love to welcome Dr. Lucky Adiati Pratomo with us today. Hello, Ma'am Lucky.
Hello, thank you very much, Dava.
Thank you, Ma'am Lucky. I'm sorry. Before we start our conversation, I would love to please, Mr. Kadarsa, if you have another event, you might continue your event. Thank you so much for joining us and opening our event, Prof. Kadarsa.
Okay.
Thank you. Enjoy the webinar. Bye.
Thank you, Prof.
sir.
Kadarsa.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you very much.
Maybe take a picture first.
Yeah,
sure. Yes.
you are right.
My pleasure.
Gloria,
ladies and gentlemen. Yeah.
Yes.
We're going to be talking a picture together with Prof. Kadarsa.
Prof. Kadarsa.
Yeah. And I would love to ask the committee if you guys are ready to take a picture.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, hold on your smile. 1, 2, and 3, smile. Okay, and the next slide. 1, 2, 3. Next slide. 1, 2, and 3. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. Kadarsa.
Thank you,
Thank
Prof.
you very much.
Have a nice webinar. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you, Prof.
Thank you, sir. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome Dr. Lucky.
Okay. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for coming to our seminar today. And of course, thank you for the Dean of Trisakti and Prof. Kadarsa as our rector, even he is not here anymore, but still, thank you very much. And of course, thank you very much for Prof. Nu, who come from Thailand, from Phuket, to share his knowledge about the tourism. Okay, today, now I want to share about Indonesian tourism 2022 and beyond. Okay, next, you can see here, Indonesia is very beautiful, right? We have a lot of places, beautiful places. Okay, Gloria? Okay, before we start, I just want to share a little bit about a quote about travel. Travel makes you realize that no matter how much you know, there is always more to learn. So we go traveling, yeah? Okay, next. Okay, today I will discuss about Indonesia tourism before and after COVID, and then the latest status COVID in Indonesia, tourism industry after pandemic, and new tourism economy. Okay, next, Gloria. Tourism actually, yes, Gloria, please. Gloria. Hello. Okay, tourism industry. Yes, Gloria, would you mind to help me? Okay, so tourism actually in Indonesia is very important sector. Before pandemic, foreign tourists in Indonesia reached 16.2 million 2019. But after pandemic, we decreased until only 4 million. So only left 25%. So you can imagine how difficult the situation for the tourism industry now. Okay, next, Gloria. Gloria, please. Hello, Gloria. Is there any problem with the PPT? Yes. I'm really sorry, I cannot use PPT myself because my Zoom always complain about that. Okay, so the latest status of COVID until now, from January 2020 till 27th of August, we already have confirmed case 4 million, about 4 million. And death about 129,000 more. So it's not, it's a really big problems, yeah, for not only for Indonesia, I believe, but this is part of Indonesia. Okay, next, Gloria. So because of that, there are so many changes in the tourism industry. Yeah. So I want to see the changes from three perspectives: the mega changes, customer, and competition. So the mega changes, yes, okay, the mega changes actually talking about technology, politics, regulation, society, economy, and the environment. Okay, next, yes. Okay, first about the mega changes about the vaccine. Yeah, the vaccine actually very important for the tourism industry. Until now, until the 27th of August, already 33% of the total population in Indonesia already get the vaccine, about 90 million. So maybe some of them get the first vaccine and the other already double vaccine, yeah, complete one. But still not enough. We need more, yeah. We need maybe about 70% to make sure that the COVID better. Okay, the next change is about distancing policy, social distancing. WHO first mentioned about social distancing, and then of course the government our government follow it, yeah. And because of the social distancing, the tourism industry must be adapt, yeah, must be adapt and implementing the distance and capacity restriction. We cannot accept 100% capacity anymore, yeah. And then economic recession, of course, not only Indonesia, but Indonesia get, especially for the accommodation, for the tourism industry, the most affected is accommodation and food and beverage sector. Yeah, this is based on the second quarter 2020 data. And then government travel restriction. Because of the COVID, many countries closed the border. Yeah, until now, maybe about 59 countries ban Indonesian citizens from visiting. Well, I hope Thailand not doing the same. Yeah, hopefully we can go to Thailand next. But now 59, and even Indonesian. Yeah, Indonesia make a really strong try to restrict the people from foreign country to Indonesia. Only diplomat, I think, can go in. Okay, next about digital tourism. Of course, now because people learn, play, enjoy everything at home, so we depend on digital device. We really depend on online platform. Yeah, we are working, we are playing, studying, everything with using the digital device. And of course, tourist activities too. If we can see, there are so many information from the internet now, yeah, about the tourist activities, tourist destination, hotel, and everything. And people or tourists, if they want to book everything, they book using online everything now. And other thing that makes even more difficult for the tourism in Indonesia because of the corporate travel policies. Many organizations now implement work from home, meaning they are staying at home. So they stop doing meeting at the hotels. They are not doing business trip. So like Prof. Kadar Shah mentioned, there are no people or very limited people flying. Yeah, so business trip stop. And then event cancellation, no event already now. Yeah. Okay, next. Yes, Mbak Gloria. Okay, not only the mega changes, but the customer change too. The consumer behavior change. Okay, next. One important thing, there are so many customer change, yeah. First, empathic society. Now people very empathy to others. For example, if one of my neighbors gets sick because of COVID, so he cannot go everywhere. He has to stay. The family has to stay at home. So the other neighbors help them, provide food, medicine, and everything. And then, like Prof mentioned, people back to the bottom of the pyramid. They are now only thinking about the physical, psychological, food, health, mental, and physical safety. They are not thinking about going out, having a holiday. Okay, next, Gloria. And of course, stay at home, yeah? So we stay at home. Okay, next, Gloria. Okay, so now people moving, the holiday moving, not staying in the hotel, not staying in the big restaurant that using the same air conditioning. They now trying to find the nature tourism. They try to go to the outdoor situation. So that's, we call it nature eco wellness adventure. Okay, next, Gloria. So you see, people now like this one, this is the destination and attraction that offer the concept of nature, eco wellness and adventure. So people now going to outdoor camping, maybe next. So that's, I just want to show you some places that people, for example, like we who stay in Jakarta, we go to Lembang doing camping or doing something else, but of everything must be outdoor. In Bali, because Bali still have a lot of nature business and nature tourism, so people from East Java, for example, going to Bali to dive or just to have a fun but outdoor tourism. Okay, next. The other things, customer feel afraid. People afraid and anxiety. So we are afraid of crisis, losing a job, bankrupt, and of course, afraid of getting infected. So because of that, the consumer preference now shifting. Not now we like to go intimate and only travel in more micro quantity, meaning we don't want to go in big bus. You know, before we like to go in one bus, 40% all together, staying in the bus, singing, playing, everything in the bus before we arrive to the destination. But now people are afraid to do that. We like to stay in small person, yeah. And of course, people now, customer concerned about cleanliness, health, safety, environment. So that's the primary consideration. So if you want to go to the hotel, if you really have to stay in the hotel, you will see how good they are providing the cleanliness, health, safety, environment. And of course, government has to make a strong or strict regulation to make sure that cleanliness, health, and safety environment doing as really good by the destination, by the hotel, restaurant, and everything in the tourism department, the tourism area. Okay, next. And of course, international tourists, there is maybe very few international tourists in Indonesia now, yeah. And then senior travelers, because you know, senior travelers, senior people, they usually who has the comorbid, so they are reduced the holiday. We don't want to go too far away, or probably they prefer stay at home, then they have to go out. So now young people, singles like Mas Dava, for example, he is not afraid to go, yeah, because he knows that he has a strong body, for example, yeah. So now I think maybe more of young people like him. Okay, next. Okay, that's interesting here. Domestic micro travelers. Because of self-distancing, because people doesn't want to go in group, in crowds. So now we are going to come to the microtourism. And even maybe some Indonesian wants to do solo traveling. I know solo traveling for Indonesian is a little bit strange, yeah, because it is unusual for us to go alone. But maybe because of the situation, young people likes to go alone. So now travelers took a vacation to the nearest local destination using a private vehicle or private car. So if I want to go with my family, I use my car. Okay, next. So I just want to show you some area. Okay, next, Gloria. Some area that in Indonesia or near Jakarta that we can go. Puncak, for example, yeah, Lembang, Anyer. Okay, Gloria. Okay, so this is Puncak area, Lembang. So Prof New, maybe next time you can go with us to Puncak, yeah, or Anyer. Yeah. Okay, the other thing is competition. Okay, next, yeah, it's okay, competition. If the company or the okay, next, Gloria. Okay, if the company needs or wants to survive, they have to change. Yeah, they have to change to light and agile operating model. I still remember what Professor Asep mentioned in the last seminar about agile, yeah, so that the company who can be very easy to change, they will survive. But the company that difficult to change, probably difficult to survive. And of course, again, cleanliness, health, safety, environment is the protocol. The company have to follow that. If not, we don't want to stay there. Next. Next, Gloria. Okay. And then, of course, hotels and every tourism business, they have to be very making a good package. Yeah. So the package innovation, for example, yeah, staycation at the hotel, working from the resort, now isolation package, quarantine package, easy payment. Yeah. Book now, pay later, or pay now, stay later. Pay very cheap, but you can stay later, maybe in the next 2022. And then, of course, hybrid event. So MICE now, they cannot doing making an offline. So we make offline and online. I think Trisakti or FEB already done it. Yeah, in the Wisuda, they make the host physically present, but the student and the parents, they stay online. Okay, next. Yes. That's something that interesting too. Contactless touch adoption. You know, in hospitality, in the tourism industry, actually high touch is very important. We talk with the receptionist, with the bellboy, but now we don't want it. Yeah, we don't want it. We try to be less and less contact point. So that's why we try to move from offline experience to the online experience. So check-in counter using machine. Maybe hotel provide a check-in counter. No need to speak to the receptionist. From the check-in counter, they can provide you the key so you can go to your room. You don't need to meet anybody. Yeah. So the contactless adoption is very important. And then even the other like restaurant, I think in Indonesia, we already done it. Yeah. We use everything. We try to do digital payment. Yeah, e-wallet. We use OVO, GoPay, Dana, everything. Yeah. Why? Because this is safer for us. We don't have to touch anything. We just pay using our handphone, our smartphone. Yeah. So that's very important. And then some countries may require you to download a mobility tracking application. Like in Japan, for example, if you landing in Japan, they will ask you after PCR and everything, they will ask you to download like Indonesian Peduli, yeah, Peduli Lindungi, something like that. And with this kind of application, they will see you in the first 2 weeks doing quarantine at home. They will know that you are not going anywhere. You are stay in the hotel or you are stay in the room, yeah, not going to the restaurant, to the swimming pool or everything. So some countries, they need doing this, yeah. Okay, next. I think this is almost finished. Okay. Yes, Mbak. Last, Mbak. Okay. So the new tourism economy will be like that, I think. First, the tourism economy or any kind of business in the tourism must be taking care of the hygiene. This is the important thing. Yeah, provide health, safety, environment is very important, and low touch. Yeah, people doesn't like to touch with others, machine or money and everything. So low touch, and then low mobility. So people likes to go close to our homes, yeah, like we in Jakarta going to Puncak, Anyer, maybe Pulau Seribu, yeah, but not going to Singapore, not going to Bali, yeah, maybe, yeah. And then less crowd. We don't want to go to the area that very crowded, yeah. Before, Indonesian people likes, very happy in the crowded area. So they like to go together in the restaurant. If the restaurant is crowded, must be nice, must be good. So we go together there. So, but now, because of the situation, we don't want it anymore. So that's about new tourism economy later. Okay, thank you. I think that's enough. I have only 15 minutes. I hope that I can reach 15 minutes. Yeah. Thank you, Dafa.
Thank you, Lukia. That was a very pleasure moment to see you presenting about our economics. I really highlight some point in your presentation. I really highlighted a sentence in which if the company that are agile, they are likely to survive. But the company that have no agility to change, they won't likely to survive. That is really a remarkable statement from you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for your speech. And ladies and gentlemen, I know that you have a lot of questions to ask, but hold on your questions because we're going to move first to our second speakers. And he is also the expert of hospitality and tourism, and he comes from Prince of Songkla University, Phuket campus, and he is the Dean of Faculty of Hospitality and Tourism. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Professor Nu.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to speak at this very important event. I'm very, very happy to be here. I would like to share my screen.
Sure, sir.
Yeah. Can you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
It's crystal clear. Thank you, sir.
Right. I would like to talk about the future of tourism, especially focusing on Phuket. If you talk about tourism in Thailand right now, the only spot that is hotspot for tourism is only Phuket right now, because this is the only place in Thailand that we are starting to welcome international tourists back to Thailand already, but only in Phuket. And now we start to expand to some other destinations such as Samui, using the Phuket Sandbox model. So I would like to share with all of you about Phuket Sandbox and also Phuket tourism industry before COVID-19, during COVID-19, and then the future that we can anticipate from tourism in Phuket, looking at Phuket as the tourism destination. Okay. When we talk about Phuket, these are the pictures that can describe the image of Phuket. You can see that it's very similar to Bali, where you have a lot of seas and sand. That's still the main product. And I hope that one day we can welcome all of you to our campus in Phuket. You can see this is the map of Phuket. Phuket is the largest island of Thailand. We have the population is around 400,000 people living in Phuket. Before COVID-19, we used to have a lot of people from other provinces, also from neighboring countries, and also expats from all around the world working in Phuket. So the population altogether, I think it's about 1 million people. And you can see these are the names of the beaches in Phuket. The most popular beach is Patong Beach, right here. And our campus is just right somewhere here. So it's about 15 minutes to Patong Beach and 15 minutes to Phuket town, just somewhere in between. And that's one of the reasons that we can attract a lot of international tourists, international students to come to study with us because of Phuket as the destination, tourist destination as well. Right. If you ask me, how many tourists were there before COVID-19? The answer is about 14 million tourists, including about 10 million international tourists and about 4 million domestic tourists, mainly from Bangkok. And if you ask me, how many hotels do we have in Phuket? It is very, very difficult to answer this question because most hotels in Phuket are not registered legally, but government still allow them to operate. If you search from tripadvisor.com, you can see that we have more than 4,000 hotels in Phuket, but only about 600 or 700 hotels are legally registered hotels. And this is the graph that shows the GDP, the gross domestic product of Thailand and Phuket. You can see most of the time Phuket has produced higher GDP than the average of Thailand GDP, which means that the average Phuket economy is better than the average of Thai economy. But there are some periods, such as in 2005, where the economy of Phuket was doing very badly. We had minus more than something like almost minus 20% of the economy because we had the contraction due to tsunami. So we used to have a number of crises happening, such as 1997, where we had Asian financial crisis, and then 2003 we had SARS, and then tsunami, and then political crisis. And this time, if we continue the graph, you can see that it will be a continued minus for 2 years and maybe 1 more year because of COVID-19. We have gone through all these crises and we managed to survive, but COVID-19 is the hardest, biggest crisis that we have faced, and we many businesses in Phuket have gone out of businesses because they cannot survive this long, 2 years already, or almost 3 years. It will be like 3 years, for example. Many of them will not be able to survive. But I really hope that next year we will start recovery, and hopefully tourism will come back again and the economy will get back to normal. Phuket relies on tourism, solely on tourism. About 80% of the economy is based on tourism. We don't have any other sectors in Phuket at all. Everything has been established mainly to support tourism industry. So you have a lot of hotels, restaurants, even shopping centers. All of those things are established in order to support the tourism industry. So you can imagine that Phuket is now in big trouble because we rely only on one industry. It's a single economy island. This shows that the revenue of tourism in Phuket is very high. It's about 400,000 million baht, which is quite high, very high, comparing to other destinations in Thailand. But then what happened was when we had COVID-19, tourists started to have travel concerns, so they decided not to travel. They stopped traveling. It's the easiest thing to do is just to stop traveling when you have any concerns, because traveling is not like compulsory, or tourism is not compulsory to us, right? And because we have a lot of travel restrictions, social distancing, lots of lockdowns, so the number of tourists declined sharply. We suddenly had oversupply. Remember that we have about 5,000 hotels on the island, and suddenly no tourists, no international tourists. So it was very difficult. So full of uncertainties. Many people still did not make decision to travel because of uncertainties in many things. They don't want to make decision to travel, and then suddenly Phuket is under lockdown again, something like that. So it's very difficult to make decision, and lots of new normal things happening, like you have to wear your mask, clean your hands, things like that. So many businesses in Phuket started to offer lots of promotion and product to adjust to stimulate domestic and local demand. So we look at the possibility of attracting tourists mainly from Bangkok or from within Thailand. But still, it was not enough, because the number of tourists and the spending power of Thai people comparing to international tourists is not comparable. So many hotels started to attract local people to come to stay in their hotels as well. But that was during the time when COVID-19 was under control in Thailand. But right now, COVID-19 is not manageable right now. We have about 14,000 new cases in Thailand, and Phuket is about 200 new cases. So people prefer to stay at home. And we have a lot of restrictions happening on the island. A lot of businesses were closed, and lots of migration of laborers back to their hometowns. And there are also impacts on other business sectors. Yeah. And this is the graph that shows the the tourist demand in 2019 comparing to 2020, where we had COVID-19. So the number of international tourists, also domestic tourists, declined sharply. January, it was the time when we discovered that the COVID-19 was a serious disease. And then the number of tourists declined sharply. And then we started to have lockdown in April 2020. And then the number go up a little. That is only domestic tourists, but it's not at all comparing to previous year because the spending power of domestic tourists is still very low. The sectors that were affected a lot was, of course, travel agencies, accommodations. Food and beverage was able to make more adjustment comparing to other businesses because they were able to cater to domestic, to local demand, local people, but still make a lot of very bad business. You can see that tourism statistic that shows that the pink area is the income from tourism in 2020. It declined sharply from January comparing to previous year, 2019, 2018. Yeah, and then it goes down to 0 in April where we had lockdown. And then we pick up a little in May, and then the revenue went up a little, but comparing to previous year is only about 10% of the revenue comparing to previous years. Yeah, so the government and businesses in Phuket got together and then thought that we could not continue like this. We have to get tourists back to the island. So we came up with a campaign called Phuket Sandbox. The sandbox means that this is like pilot project. If this is successful, then we will be able to implement this to other places in Thailand as well. And now we have started already in Samui, another island. The government thought that Phuket is an island, so it's easier to control the situation if something happens because this is an island. So we came up with the idea of Phuket Sandbox. Phuket Sandbox means that we allow international tourists to come back to Phuket, to arrive in Phuket. Only those that have been fully vaccinated and have negative test results. And they have to book into, we call it CHAR Plus Hotel or Safety and Health Administration certified hotel. And then they have to stay in Phuket for 14 days. And they have to have regular tests every day, first day, second day, third day, during the first 3 days. Yeah. And they are allowed to visit Phuket from the first day of their arrival. Yeah. After they have got the result from the first test. If it's negative, then they can go anywhere in Phuket. But it's only in Phuket. They cannot go anywhere outside Phuket. They can go to other provinces only after 14 days. Yeah, that's the idea of Phuket Sandbox. We allow only tourists from these countries, 63 countries that have low cases of COVID. Yeah. And you can see that majority of our tourists before COVID was China, from Korea, from Australia, from Russia. These countries still are not able to travel fully. China, for example, the country is still, they're not allowed to go travel a lot yet. So we don't have many Chinese tourists on the island right now. South Korea is the same. Australia is still closed. Now we are going to start to welcome Russian tourists by permitting the vaccine, the Russian vaccine. Thailand is going to recognize Russian vaccine. So we will have more Russian tourists back to Thailand, back to Phuket soon. A majority of our tourists are from European countries and America, and also Thai people from overseas who would like to return back to Thailand. So many people use Phuket Sandbox as a channel to enter Thailand because they don't want to do the quarantine in a hotel room in Bangkok. So many of them choose to come to Phuket because the quarantine area is much larger. It's the whole island, 14 days in the whole island. Right now, this is the statistics showing that majority of tourists are from America, and then Thai people returning to Thailand, and then from UK, from Israel, from Germany. And so far we have 25,000 tourists arriving in Phuket already. Most of them stay for like 10 days or 14 days. And then some of them decided to go to other provinces. Some of them decided to go back home. Phuket Sandbox has some rules and regulations that the governor will need to make decision what to do. And we have these steps. Step 1, we have to consider if Phuket has more than 90 new infections per week, then the government, local government have to do something. If the infection spread across all 3 districts in Phuket, then we'll have to do something. If we have more than 3 clusters that are not linked to each other reported. If we have more than 80% of the hospital beds occupied by COVID-19 patients, and if we have uncontrollable spread of COVID-19 on the island, then we'll have to do something. And the measures to be employed is now we have to close some, like for example, shopping store, shopping malls, restaurants, things like that. Yeah. And yesterday, the number of new cases just one day in Phuket was 200 and something, can't remember, 230. So it's already higher than the whole week. So we are now considering and monitoring the situation very, very closely, what to do with Phuket Sandbox. But the thing is, local peoples have not been affected or infected from tourists from Phuket Sandbox yet. The cases are from Thai people or other people who want to come back to Phuket, and they have brought with them the COVID-19. So we are now limiting people that want to come back to Phuket by allowing all the people that have been fully vaccinated, even though Thai people, only fully vaccinated, and those who have negative test result. So the future direction of Phuket, you can see that the tourist preferences, similar to the previous speaker, wellness, health, and safety is something that many tourists are now looking at. And they don't want to go to crowded places. They want contactless service. They want self-service technology. They want hassle-free travel. So maybe travel agency will become something more important again, because people want someone to arrange everything for them. It's not very easy. It's not easy at all to come to Phuket right now, because you have to deal with lots of documentations, and the information is very uncertain. Right. So working from everywhere, from anywhere, because of the technology. And another issue that we have been talking about a lot is that Phuket can no longer rely only on tourism, the only business sector or economy sector. So we are talking about diversification strategy for Phuket Island. And the businesses in Phuket get together and have discussed, and they think that the way to diversify Phuket include introducing additional industry that some of them are related to tourism and some of them are not. For example, marina industry, education industry, where we can welcome international tourists, international students to study both at the high school level, even primary school, and also in university level. health and wellness will become another big industry in Phuket. And then Phuket gastronomy. We have been awarded UNESCO City of Gastronomy, and this will be another big industry in Phuket as well. Sport and event like Muay Thai and all other sports. So we attract tourists who tend to do longer stay. Yeah. And another thing is tuna export. This is not relating to tourism, but it's another opportunity. So it's a way to diversify into some other industry that would not have anything to do with tourism, so that we can spread the risk. Okay, I would like to end my my presentation now, and I would be very happy to answer any questions. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Nu, for your remarkable presentation. It was a really insightful presentation with all of the data that you've shared with us, and hopefully it creates any insights for us to do anything in the future. Thank you, Mr. Nu. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to move to question and answer session. As has been stated by our committee, that you could ask to Mamluki or Prof. Nu with typing on one of the names, and after that you could type your questions. And we're going to move to our very first questions. This is from Mr. Amir Fikri. To Mr. Nu. Okay, Mr. Nu, how to manage technology to develop sustainable business in tourism industry during the COVID-19 pandemic?
Sorry, can you ask again the question?
Yes. Okay. The question is how to manage technology to develop sustainable business in tourism industry during the COVID-19 pandemic. It is about the technology, sir.
Technology. Nowadays, people start to realize that technology has become something very, very important, especially in hospitality industry. So many organizations think about contactless service. So the technology will play a very important role in helping serving customers to give you like contactless service. So like robots or the payment of online payment, things like that will be something that customers would be looking for. So the hotels will have to look at all the contact points in the hotel and try to use the technology to help customers not to touch anything. So that would be the technology that will help. Yeah. And also the MICE industry, meeting and convention. Nowadays, you have to either do the hybrid event or online event. So that's another type of technology that would be required. Yeah.
Okay, so technology is also one of the very demanding things to have right now, sir, in our industry of hospitality and tourism. Thank you so much, Mr. Nu. And the next question will be given to Mamluki. Mamluki, which strategies and tools you will recommend for the hotel industry to overcome the recession during and post COVID-19?
Okay, well, Pak Amir, the question is really difficult because this is the recession is really heavy now. People are afraid to go. So I think the most important strategy, again, like Prof. Nu mentioned, we are talking about domestic tourists. And we are actually lucky enough because we are not too, of course, tourism is very important, but we are not depend 100% to the tourism. So the hotel industry, for example, they can provide like catering, you know. Some hotel I saw they are already try to provide catering for maybe people who stay at home, working at home, or some hotels I believe they do quarantine for the people come from outside Indonesia, like foreigners, or if you get COVID, then you stay in the hotel. So that's, I think, some strategy that already done, yeah. And because hotels, yes, I can imagine hotel have a lot of people fear to go to the hotel, because they don't want to stay in a air condition. Yeah. So maybe if we want to make sure that our hotel or our room is safe, then we have to change the central air condition with the room with one air condition. This is actually one of the sustainable business in the hotel, using one AC in one room. So that's the way, I think this is one way they try to help the position of the hotel. And of course, special discount, even still not easy, but I think they can use a lot of strategy like that. Okay, Mas Dava.
All right, thank you, Ma'am Luki,
Okay.
for a very clear answer. Okay, moving to our another questions. This is for
There are so
Mr.
many questions.
Yeah, there's actually so many questions. And by the way, they're all of the delegates in here. They're all of the attendees. We might not be answering all of the questions because we
Yeah.
have, because we have straight time, and we're going to be moving to another question. Okay, this is the question for Mr. Nu. Okay, Mr. Nu, is it in Thailand you guys have implemented the or CHSA, or the Cleanliness, Health and Safety Environment, if I'm not mistaken, as we are doing in Indonesia right now?
Yes.
In Thailand, it's called SHA. SHA. So it's S for safety, and H for health, and A for administration.
Oh, administration. Yes.
Yeah. So this is the requirement by the government, that every establishment will need to apply for SHA in order to accept tourists to their to use their services, including hotels, restaurants, and all tourism-related services. So that means if you would like to welcome tourists back to your hotel, you should apply for SHA. But now in Phuket, it's called SHA Plus. SHA Plus means that it's not only the procedures, like there would be a lots of procedures that you have to follow, all the requirements to make sure that the tourists are safe and the employees are safe. The additional requirement is that you need to have at least 70% of your employees vaccinated, fully vaccinated. Yeah, it's called SHA Plus. 70%, that includes back of the house staff. So front of the house, you should have like 100% vaccinated. Yeah.
Okay, so in Thailand, basically, if you want to travel to Thailand, it is actually safe, is it?
Yes, in Bangkok right now is the number of COVID cases is still quite high.
Yes,
but it's declining. We used to have the peak one was 22,000, but today it was 14,000, and the number is declining every day, and hopefully that it will decline more. The number of people receiving fully vaccination in Bangkok is now quite high. Yeah, but in Thailand, it's only Phuket right now that we welcome international tourists, fully vaccinated international tourists. If you go to Bangkok, you still need to do 14-day quarantine in a room, in only designated hotels for quarantine.
Oh, sure. Okay.
Quarantine.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Nu. Okay.
Sorry, Mr. Nu, just a little bit. So stay in the room means he or she cannot go out to the swimming pool, to the restaurant, so just stay in the room.
Just
so the
stay in
food
the room.
provided by the hotel person, right?
You cannot even walk out of the room, of the door.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And the food will be delivered to your room.
Yes.
And you will get COVID test regularly.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. Okay, Mas Dava, thank you.
It's a package provided by hotel. So,
Oh,
I
okay.
see.
I see.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. Thank you,
Yes.
Mr. Nu. That's interesting, to be honest. Okay, another question for Mamluki, I think, from
Yes.
Nadia Abidin.
Yes.
Mamluki, what do you think about virtual tourism using 360 and 4K technology videos and websites?
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
because
yeah.
there are several websites in
Yes, yes,
Indonesia
yes,
have been implementing
yes.
this, right?
Mhm.
And do you think using such tech could improve income in the tourism sector? What is your knowledge and opinion about the use of the tech in your countries and others nowadays?
Okay, so this is not only for me. I think this is for me and Prof. Nu too. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. From me, yeah, I think this is interesting. Using virtual tourism. Yeah. But maybe because of this situation we can accept it. I mean, we can try to do it just to enjoy maybe 1 hour or 2 hours, yeah. But of course it's not that easy. I mean, we still, some people still craving, wants to really have enjoy a holiday. I think like, I don't know in Thailand, yeah, Prof, but in Indonesia, when we have a holiday, even actually the government already mentioned not going anywhere. You have to stay. You have to, so many rules, but some people still go. Some people still try to go, and they use their own car, or if they don't have the car, they use the bus. So maybe the question, I think, yes, we can enjoy it, but maybe cannot for the long time. Yeah, we still need to go for a real holiday. Yeah. And how it is improve the income for the tourism sector? Well, maybe if we go to the hotel and go to the such place, or maybe not the hotel only, yeah, but the destination. For some destination that actually we have to pay, maybe we have to pay a little bit to see all the destination. For example, if we want to go to the Disneyland, it's difficult to go to the Disneyland because it is far away. So we can see, but we have to pay a little bit to see all the activity in the Disneyland. That's in my opinion like that, yeah, because I don't know, some people likes to go that, but maybe not enough. Yeah. Okay, Prof. Nu, what do you think, Prof?
Yeah, it's not the same.
Still not the same, yeah.
Yeah, tourists want to go and visit the place,
Yes,
and go and experience it. The
yes,
experience is the most important thing.
yes.
You want to go
exactly.
and experience the nature, the culture. That's
Yes.
where. But the technology might be able to help you to, if you miss it so much, maybe just help you to relieve it, but not to replace it, of course. Yeah.
Yes, agree. So I still want to swim in PP Island, yeah, Prof?
Yeah.
Okay, Mas Dava, next.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Because we don't want to swim virtually, okay?
Yeah, difficult, right?
Yes. Okay, another
Okay.
question from Rizal to Mamluki and Professor Nu. Because of the COVID-19, the tourism business model must be changed, or the business model needs to be changed a little bit. Let's say must be less crowded, social distance, and etc. But the other side, we hope traveler must be increased to save our tourism business. All right. From Mamluki, do you have any strategy to solve that problem?
Okay, can I give it to Prof. Nu first?
Yes.
Okay,
Sure.
so Prof. Nu,
Please, Prof.
what
Nu.
do you think? Still okay.
You mean social distancing, right?
Yes, it is.
Social distancing, I think I don't know, in my opinion, it will be just for short term. As right now, people are afraid, are scared. But when the COVID-19 is under control, human beings will go back to their normal life. But that may take some time, maybe 3 or 4 years, before this COVID-19 will be fully under control, and then it will be like regular flu, and then social distancing would not be an issue at all. But for the time being, it's not easy. It's quite difficult, especially, for example, the restaurant, for example. restaurant in Bangkok is now allowed to have customers only for 25% of the capacity.
Yes.
Or some places only 50%. In that case, it's very difficult to make sure that the customers are happy, the customers have the feeling that they are safe, but at the same time, you have to manage your cost because your revenue will be reduced by 50%. By you will earn only maybe 1/3 or 1/4 of the revenue that you used to earn. So it's not easy at all. So many restaurants therefore need to offer their food online. Yeah. So they have to change from dining in to offering online delivery. So many other channels will have to be considered. Yeah, in order to increase your revenue.
Okay, yes, I agree with Prof. New. So I think, well, from now on, based on we understand our Indonesian consumer, right? Indonesian consumer usually likes to go together. Yeah, they like to doing everything gathering. Yeah, so it's really difficult to have the social distancing. But because of so many cases, when we are not following the rules about social distancing and people get infected and some of them get finally die. So I think some of the Indonesian people still afraid to go together doing gathering. Yeah. So it's again not easy. Yeah. But if I'm thinking just in a positive thing like this, if there is no other strategy, for example, 25%, 50% of the customer not doing dine-in or just sending the food, it's already a good sign that we still can operate. We still can do something. So we still can get some money or some income, yeah, based from the really worst situation. But it's not that easy. Maybe not in the 2020 will be good. I don't think so. Not very good still. Yeah, I think. But we still have to work very hard for doing that. So yeah, I think we try to be optimists, but we have to be very careful about that. Okay, I think there is question from Missing Thailand. Okay, Mas.
Yes.
Mas Dava.
Yes, thank you so much, Mamluki and Prof. Noor, for your question, for your answer. And I think it really also answers the questions from Miss Desi Asante because it is a similar question. And I think we have still a lot of questions, but I think we don't have time left to answer all of the questions because our time is very strict. And I would love to ask Mr. Nu and Mamluki for your closing statement talking about the positive thinking about the future of tourism to travel 2022 and beyond. Maybe we can start with
Prof. Nu.
First. Oh, Prof. Nu, okay.
Prof. Nu, as a
Sure.
very special guest today.
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, I think next year will be the year of recovery. This year still not looking good, but the end of the year, the vaccines will be widely available, and hopefully we'll have some medicines to cure this disease. And I think starting from next year, the recovery will start. Maybe looking toward the middle of the year, I think we'll be able to travel almost freely again. And then by the end of the year, things might get back to near normal. I hope, I don't know, but I just really hope so. And I have to explain a little bit more about Phuket Sandbox that I saw from the questions. Phuket, the Phuket comparative advantage is on tourism, the resources, the beaches, and everything.
Yes.
And make tourism is the most appropriate industry. So what we are trying to do is not to find other industry to replace tourism, but we find other industries to complement and also to to help spread the risk. If something happened to season sand, we still have some other type of tourists. We have long stay tourists or some other kind of industry that still support Phuket economy. Because right now, when we have no international tourists, most businesses are in trouble. That's the thing. So we are not going to replace other industries to our tourism industry, but we will try to balance. We cannot put all the eggs into tourism industry anymore. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Mr. Nu.
Thank you, Mr. Nu.
Yeah.
Okay, from for the next 2022, if Indonesian people, mostly or 70% of Indonesian already get vaccine, I believe that we will be a little bit better from now on, yeah, compared with now on. So some hotel can open, restaurant can open because people get vaccine, and we use the Peduli Lindungi, for example, yeah, to the application to make sure that the people who comes to the mall, the restaurant, the hotels already get vaccine. So I hope, yeah, optimistic hopes that tourism industry will be a little bit better. Maybe not very optimistic like Prof. Nu, but I'm still hopefully that next year will be a little bit better. I believe that for the nature tourism, it will be mostly better than a hotel in the city, yeah, because as I mentioned it to you already, that nature tourism make people feel safer. Going out, it's outdoor, it's safer than if you are in the room, yeah, in one room. So I think maybe first thing that will be better is the tourism, the nature tourism. And if mostly 70% or 80% Indonesian already get vaccine, then we can go directly to the hotel and restaurant and others. I think from me, just like that. Thank you, Mas Dafa.
Sure, thank you so much, Ma'am Luki and Professor Nu, for your remarkable closing statement. And we're hoping for 2022, it will be a very bright future for us, especially for this COVID-19 pandemic. We hope that this COVID-19 pandemic will become an endemic after this.
Hopefully.
Hopefully. Amen. Okay, thank you so much for all of the delegates. We are going to be heading to our next event, which is the awarding of certificates. And the first event will be given from Dr. Yolanda Masnita as our Dean of Faculty of Economics and Business to Mr. Professor Dr. Pormpinsanu from Ziva Balop. To Ma'am Yolanda, time is yours.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. For joining the seminar in Trisakti. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
All right. Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you, Ma'am Yolanda. Okay, we're going to be heading to our second event. That is the giving of certificate from our head of Master Management from Professor Farah to Ma'am Luki Adiato. To Professor Farah, time is yours.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you, Prof. Nu. Thank you, Prof. Bu Luki, for the session today. This is the certificate, e-certificate for Bu Luki.
Thank you. Oh, that's really nice. Thank you, Prof. Farah.
You're welcome.
All right, sure. Thank you so much, Prof. Farah and Ma'am Yolanda. And as the awarding of certificate has been done, it means that our today's event has been done. And I would love to remind all of the candidates, all of the attendees here to fill our evaluation form before you leave this meeting, because it will be very beneficial for us for our next improvements, for our next events. I would love to thank personally to Mr. Nu and Ma'am Luki for attending our today's event. Your presentation are very great and very insightful. I am Tuku Dava, and we'll be seeing you in another event. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Dava. Thank you, Prof.